Hi, Randy Wheeler here with Wheeler Coaching. In this video, I want to dive into this really important question. How do I develop trust with my team? Now, in order for any team to be effective, there has to be trust. And in order for a team to go far, we have to trust one another. Let me use an analogy from sports. You can have a group of people that are not very talented, but if they trust one another and trust that each other is going to do their job, they can have a lot of success. But on the other hand, you can have a group that is extremely talented and is fighting constantly. And they're just falling apart and not having nearly the success they could. And I know you want to build a team that is successful. So at the foundation of that team is trust. So let me unpack a few ideas on how to build trust with your team. First of all, we have to communicate openly and honestly. Create an environment where people can come to you as the leader and share their thoughts and share their concerns in an appropriate way. And as the leader, be that kind of leader that is open and authentic. I've had the privilege of being led by a person that they would always share as much as they could about what was going on in the organization in the situation. Now, they couldn't share everything. Sometimes we just kind of had to trust them that what we were being told was what we needed to know, and we just had to trust that they were looking out for our best interest. But the more open that this person communicated, and honestly that this person communicated, it strengthened my trust, and I'm pretty sure the rest of our team's trust in their leadership. So the second thing, after we've communicated openly, we're creating that culture of communicating openly and honestly, we want to provide clarity. Maybe you've heard me say this word another time, and I know I've said this quote before, but clear is kind. Clear is kind. And when we provide clarity for our team members, it removes the fog. Think of it this way. You're the leader, you have the vision, you know some things, you know where you want the team to go. But they only know a little less than you. Imagine you're flying in a plane. You're in the front of the plane, you're in the cockpit, you can see all the panel and you can see the horizon in front of you. But the passengers, they can only see part of the horizon. If you communicate to them what's going on and with clarity, it gives them calm. So think of it this way. Providing clarity provides calm. When we have clarity and that calm, it increases our trust in one another. The third idea to consider is connect on common ground. These people that you lead, they have lives. There's more to them than just what they are hired on for this job for. There's more to them than just what you have them doing. They have families, they have friends, they have social lives. And you never know, there may be things that you have in common. When I would work with young people, and the things were calm enough, I could go around the room and talk to these athletes and find out what was going on in their lives outside of their sport or outside of what they were doing in the room with me. By creating those connection points and creating common ground, it helps them know that we care and increases that trust. And finally, the last thing to consider is give them freedom to decide. This is a very practical step to take. If you've given somebody a task, maybe you're like me and you've had that situation where somebody's given me a task, but then they tell me exactly how to do every single bit of it. That's called micromanaging. No one wants to be micromanaged. But they want clear direction. Say, hey, here's where I want you to go. I would like you to lead this project. Here's the outcome for the project. Okay, do you have any questions on how to do it? No? Well, I have this question, that question. Be there for that, answer those questions. And then give them freedom to decide how to do it. It's a principle I've heard, the 10-80-10 principle. Now, 10% on the front end, you're giving clear direction. You're telling them what the outcome should be. The 80% in the middle, they're figuring out how to get there. And then on the back end, 10%, maybe you're sharing some up levels of what they've done, because you see things that they may not be seeing, because like you're in the front of the plane type of thing. That's a way to give people freedom. You're not only giving them the task, you're not just dumping, but you're delegating and giving them authority and room to make mistakes, in your availability if they have questions. That will increase trust. So consider this. Communicate openly and connect honestly. How are you doing at that? How well are you providing clarity? Are you connecting on common ground with your people? And what kind of freedom are you giving them to decide? Continue to grow in these 4 areas, and you'll increase the level of trust and results with your team. I hope you found this helpful, and if so, please share it with others. And if you want to get things like this to your inbox each week with tips and updates on leadership growth opportunities, go to leadwell.biz for a free leadership ebook. Have a fantastic day and lead well.